Good morning. Katie Richardson here, the youth director at Lincoln Christian Life Center, here to share a little bit of encouragement for you today. We've been talking this week about, as a Christian, how to live a victorious life. Now, the first thing that came to mind, honestly, when thinking about this subject was the fact that in the Old Testament we see some pretty crazy stories, right? You see things like Moses leading 1 million people out of slavery and leading them to victory through the Red Sea by using a staff. You think of like Joshua in the city of Jericho and how, the city walls fell. And you think of David, a shepherd boy, in Goliath and facing his giant. And I was thinking, there's certain principles you see throughout all of these stories, and in all of them you have, first, you have an enemy. Second, there's a word given, and thirdly, there's an action that's taken. And I think that's a principle. Those are, it's principles we can take into our own lives today. But first off, we got to figure out who is our enemy. What is it that we are looking to have victory in our lives? And from that point, really choosing to be honest with ourselves, choosing to be ready to face that giant, to face that enemy. I think a lot of times for me, I've hidden from the enemy, or I've kind of diverted my attention to other things. And it's important that we know and identify what that enemy is, whether it's depression, whether it's pornography, whether it is pride, whatever it may look like, whether it's poverty or sickness, whatever it is our enemy that plagues us and frustrates us and torments us. And identify that enemy. And then that second part of having a word. I mean, Moses walked in faith because he was given a word. He had something he knew to do. God told him to go into the waters and to put the staff in the water, and that the sea would divide. Joshua led the people and led the priests, to go around the walls of Jericho because he was given a word of instruction. And in our own lives, we can be given a word through the Bible. And that is something we can stand on for our victory. And so I encourage you, identify that enemy, find the word that you're gonna stand on. And I just want to encourage you with 1 John 5:4 that says, "For every child of God defeats this evil world by trusting Christ to give the victory." And thirdly, with that action step, it wasn't the fact that Moses was amazing, or that Joshua was amazing, or David was amazing. It was that they trusted in God and they took an action step. They took some form of action. Moses went out into the water and put the staff down. Joshua went and instructed the people and led them marching around the city walls. David picked up the stones and faced the giant. So what is your action step? What is your action step? It can sometimes be something really, really small. Maybe it's talking with a friend and being open with where you're at. Maybe it is choosing to give a percentage of your money because you're choosing to believe that giving helps break that poverty mindset. Maybe it is, I don't know what your action step is, but find your action step and take an action in faith. So again, identify your enemy, figure out, what was my second one? Identify the enemy. Second one was have that word. So whether it's the word of God, whether it's something that you can solidly stand on. And thirdly, take that action step. So hope and encourage, hope and hopefully this word encourages you. I'm doing great this morning, aren't I? I'm just doing so great. So hopefully this word encourages you. Again, we are here as a body of believers to uphold you in prayer and to stand with you. So if you need someone to talk to or need a bit of encouragement or feel lost when identifying how you can stand on the Word of God, please feel free to contact us, send us a direct message, and just know that you don't have to do this alone. We're here for you. Have a great week, and God bless.